Hey everybody, welcome back to City Skylines 2. Hope you're having a great day today. Today, we're going to continue to improve the lives of our people in our community. And we're going to provide them with some essential services that we've been lacking for a while. So I'm pretty happy about that. Before we do that though, I wanted to say that we've looked into it and everything, and all of these little pop-ups here where businesses are having not enough customers, it's actually a bug. There's a lot of bugs in this game. This is one of them. You can examine a business by clicking it. Let's take 120 Victoria Street, for example. Actually, this one just popped up, so let's take a look at it. All right. So when you click business, you can see their current level. This tells you, in this case, it's level 1 out of 5 because it hasn't really developed itself yet. We can lower taxes to raise their profits so they can reinvest in their business and their businesses can level up. So we'll be trying to lower taxes today, but since I am also going to be adding some municipal services that cost me money, we're going to have to see them level up so their profits can go up, right? And then hopefully that offsets our taxes a little bit here. So because our current budget is a bit of a deficit, right? About 67K per month. We're gonna have to do something about that if we can. All right, but this business here, we just saw it pop up with this little notification. It has full employment, so educated, good, poorly educated, and uneducated, right? Lots of different education levels in the game, and you have to have enough people in those different positions in order for them to be able to fill them and have enough employees to be efficient. Now, it has 0 out of 50 households. This is a mixed building, so this is a commercial and residential above it kind of building, and so nobody's actually living here right now. The business exists, and that's running, but nobody actually lives here. So we have room for people to move in, provided we actually get the demand for it. You can see there is medium residential demand. So hopefully that demand is filled by people moving into buildings like this, right? That's what we have to hope for anyway. So we can see that they are a textile company. We just added a textile for farms and everything. So we should be able to get the growth of their products and everything and get it in here, right? This is pretty close to textile businesses, and they can just get their supply of resources from right here. So that's pretty good. But the main thing to look at here is the efficiency for this. And so if you look at efficiency, you can see the things that positively affect it and negatively affect it, okay? So in this case, electricity fee, water fee, and mail handling are hitting the efficiency of this business hard. They can lose or gain efficiency based on different factors. Default efficiency is 100%. Anything lower means the building is underperforming, while higher means it's performing better than expected. How can this business be performing better than expected if it doesn't have enough customers, right? Business is struggling, but it's performing better than expected, right? It's kind of weird. So we're going to ignore all these little pop-ups. I'm told it's a bug, and they're working at it, so we'll see. We're just going to keep trying to do the best we can with it. But we are going to improve their lives a little bit here, okay? So over here we have the firehouse. We have the police station. We got a road maintenance place. And we also have a little bit of a traffic issue. These guys keep having to wait a little bit longer. It's not right now. It seems like at the moment this isn't such a big deal. But I want to do a little bit of specific intersection changes, right? Like a lot of cities, not every intersection is the same, right? Light timings are different depending on different factors and how traffic flows and all that stuff. And in here, in this instance, we could do two different things, I think, to help this out. One is we could go over and add a 5th lane to this. So basically giving them a dedicated left turn lane over here. By default, it's trying to like add it to this side. Oh, excuse me. All right. Let's turn the ads off again. I really want this to save my settings between loading the game. Anyway, so we can add a dedicated left turn lane here too. Now, by default, it's kind of going to pick a side, but you can just hit it again and swap the sides and stuff too, so it won't matter. I think instead of that, though, for this one, since it kind of flows with this roundabout, I'm just going to add another roundabout here instead. So to do that, I'm going to move this building over just a little bit, slide it over like this, kind of get it firmly out of the way. We can go ahead and maybe soften this up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. We don't need to have it quite so extreme. And then we're going to say that this becomes a roundabout. And I think that will solve the traffic issue a bit better. I think. We'll take a look at it. Now over here, we also had a little bit of an issue. At the moment, it doesn't really matter But as things start to flow through here, I've been watching things, and sometimes we will get a line that goes out to about here. So for this one, instead of a roundabout, I'm going to add a left turn lane, like I said before, over there. So we're going to go over this side, take the 5-lane asymmetric road, and on this side of the street, we're going to add a dedicated left turn lane. I'm going to start it way out here by the bridge. So when people want to turn left, they just need to get over into this lane, and then they'll be able to take a dedicated left here. But then this ends up being a straight or a right turn. And that seems, I think that will help a lot, right? So we'll have that happen. Now, there's a couple of things I have not been doing in this city, and I'd like to correct that now. I've been focusing a lot on all these tabs, but I have never visited this one. This is a communications tab. In the communications tab, we have a post office. Yeah, people need to be able to get their mail, right? And mail service availability is terrible. And our mail rate is currently $37,000 per month. But like everyone has to process their own and stuff. Like I don't know how that's working without anybody actually operating the mail room. And so what we can do is we can have a post office be, I would think somewhere central would be a good idea to do this. I'm kind of thinking maybe over in this area, but again, I don't want to get in the way of those train tracks later. So I don't really want to do it off the main road either, but there's an advantage to this in that if we were to do it off of like a road like this, for example, then, ooh, interesting. Oh, right. We turn this into a highway. Okay, hang on. Let's just real quick make this not a highway. There we go. This is back when I thought you had to do a highway in order to not have zoning. What a noob. Anyway, we could take this post office over here, and there's extensions to this too, so we kind of want to leave a little bit of room. So I'm thinking maybe right over here could be an okay spot for it. It is just off the highway, so mail can get delivered to things just off the highway. See, and it covers the entire residential area through here. Entire. It's not quite entire. We got to get into here too, but we can add these mailboxes, okay? And if we add these mailboxes, then all these people can drop off the mail in these big mailboxes, and the mail trucks can go ahead and get that stuff. So I can add a mailbox, for example, here, and then that would cover this whole area for mail, which is pretty good. I can also go in and add like a little mailbox, probably a little bit closer, like on this side, I guess. So just so I can get the back side of this area done. Although this road is, it could be from this side too. It really just shouldn't matter. This is a highway here, but it's the range still counts, I think. So we could put this mailbox like right here, for example, and get them to collect it on this side of the road, maybe. Yeah, like here. That'll cover those guys, okay? So they all have mail service now. Then we can go over and put a mailbox there, which would cover the rest of these guys. Okay, so we basically want everyone to be covered with mail. And that means green roads everywhere, at least everywhere where there are businesses or there are, residential. Like we just need mail everywhere. So I'm gonna put a mail box over on this side, like right there. It should help cover all these guys. And then across this area here, we'll have one of the mailboxes be kind of maybe over in this area, maybe like over here like this for now. Could be okay. Actually, there's a little cozy lane right here happening. And there's like a turnaround spot they could potentially use there. So what do you just put like right here? And then they can use that for mail service as well. All right. They're probably going to turn around at the end of this road too. So we'll just put it there for now. And that covers me for mail for all of my residents in this area, which is nice. All right. Over on this side, we'll go ahead and place a mailbox over here to help cover those businesses. And then over like this to help in covering all these guys. And then we'll put one more on this street just to cover all of those guys. And I'm kind of picking the side of the street, thinking about like the different mail routes and like which direction they're going to go. But honestly, they're going to send out several different mail trucks anyway. So it doesn't really matter which side of the road we put these on, I don't think. This area over here, going to need some help with that too. So we're going to place mailboxes spread throughout here. And we could also do another one maybe in this area. How about right about... I need it to cover the inside of that. So like right about here. Here we go. And then on this side, we're going to go with probably right about... right there covers most of these houses. I feel like. Ish. Yeah, right about there covers most of those houses. I like that. Let's see if we can get all of these guys covered with a single box. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we'll bias it over here because we're going to be expanding a little bit anyway. So we'll put the mailbox there. And then also another one maybe over like that. All right. So we're providing mail coverage for like everybody. And that's what we're looking for here. I'll put one mailbox here, although I think this area changes over time anyway. Same thing with this. This area is going to change later too, but whatever. We'll just put a mailbox right here. And then in the industrial area, I don't know if you need, I want to be clear, I don't know if you need to cover mail in, like, I'm assuming businesses receive mail too. But I don't really know that. So take that with a big asterisk, because I really don't know if this is necessary. But we're just going to cover all these businesses with mail service if I can. So we'll go in like that, and then we'll go in another one like that, and then one more over here like that. All right, so we're covering pretty much everybody with mail service now. And let's see if that helps the efficiency of all these different businesses, right? We want to see if that matters. Now, the other thing we can do with communications, in addition to the post office, is telecom. Transmits mobile data, radio traffic, and TV signals. In case of emergencies, the masts are used to broadcast an alarm, which allows citizens to react to the event more rapidly. Can be upgraded with a wireless network antenna and increased bandwidth. So it's $5,000 per month. It's not that expensive, but it'll make people happy. And so these work in a circular radius, right? So we're going to want to place these along areas where we can cover, residential areas, right? And so I'm going to put this kind of maybe over by the highway here. I don't want it to be off the roads or anything. So put over by the highway, maybe like right here. It's going to say that a road is required. So we're going to need a road connection anyway to like connect it for services and stuff. Like you have to be able to maintain it and everything. But it doesn't have to be off of like in the residential neighborhood or anything. So we're going to put this right off the highway here. All right. We're going to come over here, and I would love to put it on this side, but it doesn't look like it's going to fit there. I don't really want it next to people's houses. Okay. So we're going to stick it, I think maybe, let's put it, face it this way, I guess. And we're going to put it over here. All right, there's a little bit of crossover there, so we can keep people connected. Like that. There we go. And then we're going to want something over on this side. I kind of want it on the other side of the river, to be honest. So maybe, yeah, maybe like right about here would be okay. Is this going to be okay for spin it around? So the road connection's on this side. There we go. So maybe right about here. Okay. And then, so let's take a look at how we're patched in now. So not bad. Each one of these is $3,000 a month to maintain. So it gets expensive. It's going to, like, everything adds up, right? But I think over time, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And of course, you can see how that green area kind of spreads out when you get two towers like next to each other. You sort of cover a bigger area with green like that, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to go with right off the exit here. We're going to put one right here. We'll see where we're at now. Okay. Yep. And then we're going to come over to, I guess, this side, maybe right behind these buildings. Which means one of these buildings is going to get displaced, but it's probably going to be this one here. Just so we can get a service road behind this. So right about here is probably where this is going to go. Like that. And then we'll put another one over by this road. We can stick it right off the street, actually. No big deal. There we go. Okay, so we're starting to get internet connectivity for these people, right? Cell service, right? We want people to be able to have awesome things. And I guess I'll put one right here too. All right, so for now, that's what we're going to provide for now. And we're going to see whether or not that improves everyone's life and whether or not they want to live in this area now because of really good cell service. Okay? So the next thing is we need power for all these things and to provide roads and everything, of course. So we're going to take this little street here. Yep, it's going to displace that building. That's just the way it's going to be. And that hooks up that for the service road like so. So now we have this thing is now connected to power. Come on over to here. We're going to just do gravel roads for all these things. So we're going to have a gravel road come off of this side. No, it should be this side. Yeah, come off a little gravel road that goes all the way out like this and then connects over like that. All right. It takes care of that. Over here on this side, we'll have a gravel service road that comes out this direction. Now, it looks like it's got to go around the back here, so I kind of didn't orient it correctly, but that's okay. So that's going to connect those three to power. Should see that happen. Yep, there it goes. All right, and then we have this one over here now for power. Now, this one is a little bit... So this is a highway, right? And to pass power through a highway... the highway does not pass power by default, right? We talked about that before. Like, the highways don't have the utilities flowing through them by default. However, you can add lighting to highway roads. And if you add lighting to the highway, you then get a highway that also has power transmission. And so now I can use the highway road, but also have this service road come off of it to do something like that. And now we should have power pass through on this road and also there. So now we're getting communication set up for everybody, right? People can now do the things they need to do over there. And we should have more businesses, hopefully. Look at this. See? Look at how tall these buildings are going to be. Oh my God. The cranes are a good indicator of how tall the building will end up being. So these are going to be our higher density buildings, obviously. And high density residential is apparently, at least it was in demand for a brief second before these two buildings began to build. These are residential. 216 households per building. That's wild. And 88 and 88, both of them looks like respectively are going to be in there. Yeah, 128 residents are going to be in there and 116 residents in this one, as well as some pets. So those buildings will build, and they're right near where the cell towers are going to be, right? So we're going to, again, improve the quality of life. Kind of a theme for pretty much any builder game. As long as you can improve their quality of life, you're going to see excellent results. So I want to come across with the road. Something like this would be okay for now, and then we'll just kind of just build it out this way, I guess. That's fine. And then we'll take this little gravel road and just kind of go like this, and that'll connect it to power. All right, so we should see upgrades happening across a lot of different places now because of communications being up, because of mail service being handled. We should start seeing a lot of upgrades and stuff. Now we just need to, ambulances and stuff. They're going to be waiting for those, I guess, waiting for a hearse, etc. But mostly we're going to see how we're doing by using our overlays. Okay. And if I take a look at my budget, right, I'm down by 102 grand now, right? So services, I am at 100% budget. I'm not sure I need to be. So let me just take a real quick look at water. We're basically right where we need to be on water. Water availability is just a little bit green. It's not like overdone or anything. So I could reduce the budget on water a little bit. And I think that would be an acceptable way of saving a little bit of cash. So we'll just bring that down to like, say, 90% and see how that does. Okay. We can come over to power. Got a good surplus there too. So we can come over to our, now power we are exporting. So that is less of a deal, right? We can keep that going because we actually have an export on that and it's making us money. And I'm at 90% budget too, by the way. If I reduce the budget a little bit more, we'll see how that affects our exports, right? If I take a look at my health care and death care, I'm already at 74% funding on that. If I go over to healthcare and death care, we're way up here. So I kind of thinking we could reduce the budget a little bit more on healthcare and death care too. Maybe we're at 74%. We can bring it down to like, say, 68%. And now I probably have a much more reasonably budgeted. Oh, hang on. All right. So here's the problem, right? All of these guys just lost sewer coverage. And it's probably because I just lowered the budget on water. We had a surplus on water, but we didn't have a surplus on the sewage treatment part of it. And now this is dipping into, it ain't working. So I do have to raise the budget again on the water. I need to bring that back up to where it was so that these guys can get their service restored. And so we're basically balanced on water, essentially. To get that out, I need to connect to an external border to get sewage to be able to get out of my city, right? I think there's an export for sewage. I don't believe there's an import for sewage. I could be wrong. It could be the other way around. Garbage is kind of the same way as well, I think. You could have people importing garbage sometimes, and we don't want that to be a case either. So I'm really hoping we're not seeing anyone importing garbage. We could also make that a bit more efficient by adding things to the building and stuff too. But I just want to get the monthly budget a little bit more under control, okay? And then on taxation, I'm going to bring 15% on residential just to bump that up a little bit. But I'm going to keep the commercial businesses and the industrial taxes where they are. I would eventually like to have much lower taxes, but... All right, so we have like the twin towers of, residential buildings sitting over here now. We have our first really tall buildings in our city. They're looking pretty nifty. I like them. These ones here are the row housing, right? And I'm kind of thinking like, I like the diversity in this area, how there's some tall buildings and then there's some small ones, and then we could have some tall ones and then some small ones. I kind of like that. This area over here, of course, was always going to get transformed eventually. So why don't we go over and we can add some mixed housing right here would be okay, I think. So we're going to let's demolish these buildings right here for a second. We'll get rid of these guys. All right. I think about that far is good. We're going to want to upgrade this road to where we have street parking now. So let's go over and get this road upgraded on this side just to permit street parking, because it's going to be a mixed area like that. Okay. Then we're going to want to take the zoning and we're going to get rid of all these zones like this. There we go. And then we can go ahead and redraw them as a mixed commercial and residential area. And I think I'll actually go in and just do this one as a straight up medium density. But this is this is the main road. So this one's fine. We can have some medium density buildings over here too. So let's say there. We'll do some medium density housing. And then I'm going to swap to having high density housing pop in. Let's not get in the way of their train tracks. Let's have that be, let's say here. Okay. So I've rezoned some areas now. And we should see, again, the different mixtures of businesses and commercial areas and stuff start popping up here. This is, of course, going to disrupt here. It's not going to be as comfortable to live here anymore. But we did expand to a new residential area over here. And we also gave them a whole new neighborhood over here. Speaking of which, we can now go ahead and give these guys some cell service as well. And I was thinking of popping it like right in the middle of town here, near the high school, since we're not really going to use this high school. Oh, look at this. It fits right here. Well, that's kind of cool. You can just shift itself right into here. These might get upgraded to higher density later, though, so I'll need more room. So I'll just put it right next to the high school here. This side. Like that. And we'll get the road to be right along the high school like this. The little gravel road. Give them some power. And now some of these guys have some cell service, which is pretty nice. And then we put the radio mast again over here on this side now to cover that gap in these different, this housing area here. I think I'll put it over here like this. Just stick it right here. That's fine. And then on this side, as we expand this way, we can put another tower like right over here. And that will kind of give us that whole triangle of coverage over there too. So these guys now have cell service, internet service, etc. That's just good. We have industrial demand, so we can add additional industries. And there's that fertile land that we saw over here before that I'm still not working. It's right here, right? We currently have a deficit on livestock. We're not going to put that on fertile land. You don't need to. We have a deficit of 94 tons for grain, so we're gonna have to work on that. Vegetable farming, a deficit of 57. And then textiles and stuff is a little bit light there too. So I think grain farming is our biggest deficit at the moment. We can go ahead and place this right on the road, right off the road, I think. We'll place this, let's say right here, just off the road. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our zones drawn. It would be like this. And it's gonna be out as far over here as we can. It's kind of like not making a hexagon per se, but just kind of triangulating that field the way it is there. There it is. And so this will be our grain field. I don't know if that is the best place for this. It just looks weird, doesn't it? We should move it. You know what? I think we should probably move this building. I kind of want to move this building, to be honest. Let's move it. I want it to be a different shape. So to help it get that shape, why don't we add an extra road on this side? We're going to go out like this and then over. So just an extra road that helps with this other industry like that. Okay. And then we'll place the farm directly on this road instead. I don't really like how that was placed. And then I can kind of scoot it over here. It could be a little bit more centered and maybe look a little more natural. So we'll do that right there. And then I can have this go right up against this. Over like this. I do want it to kind of stretch out this way though. We're not going to put anything on this road. This isn't getting zoned. So we're going to butt it up right against the road. That's fine. I want to have a nice flat edge on this side so I can have another field sort of like butt up against it. It's about here. That should be good. We're going to go all the way over to the edge. Actually, let's leave a flat edge on that side too because we can use it. All right. And then from there, all the way over to here. And then all the way over to here. And that's going to look a little bit better. Still a weird shape, but it's because they give me a circle instead of a big square. So now we'll have additional, this place is called Pelican Biofuel. All right. And then we'll, on this side, again, we have to make up our deficits. So now our deficit for grain is it's 53, 51, 52. Okay, so we still have a good deficit here. We can hit this with a bigger field. So I'm gonna go a little bit more over this way. Maybe we'll put an alley. I think maybe we could just go straight off this field. I'm struggling. I don't want to put industry vehicles directly on this major road. I was trying not to do that, but I guess it's probably fine to do. It's just a big area to cover, and I'm trying to figure out like how I want buildings to be to where I can make the most of this entire space. I want to be able to capture this entire space. I'm thinking probably having the field, the farm, whatever, something like right up against this is probably the best way to do this. So if I put this farm like right here, right up next to this is probably the best way to go about this. If I do that, now I have to think about how I want to have this constructed. We'll go with an alley road here. Just a regular street. People want to do street parking, they can do street parking, whatever. But I want this road to be right up against that farm field. Like that, yeah, right up against there. And then you can come over just a little bit, done. All right, so that's the road over to this farm. And then from there, we need to draw the area. And I kind of want this farm to go out about that far, okay? And then we're gonna have it go straight to here. Yep, that side. And then from there, we want it to go right along the edge of this one. Yep. And then from here, we want it to go right along the edge of that one all the way to this point. And that's okay because there's no more fertile land there anyway. And then we can actually take it out a little bit more like this side, I guess. And then from here, we want to drag it out about that far for now. We're outside our border, so you got to be careful on that too. We'll go out, let's say this far. Right, and then from here we'll bring it. Well, I don't really want that node there. Yeah, this one right here is what I'm looking for. Out about this far, and then you go out about here. I just want a straight line. Can I get a straight? Tell you what, we'll just go out like this. Make straight lines. At 180, 180. Close? Right there. All right. So we can have that field be like this. And then on this side, I guess we can come straight down to the road. Is there a reason not to take this all the way over? I know it's a strange shape, but I don't think there's a reason not to do it. So we can come straight down like that, right? And then this side needs to go like that, and then over like that. Right, we're covering as much ground as I can. So now I've got this kind of marker here where I can put another field and, you know, populate that area with that other field as well. But we're going to be using a lot of grain, so maybe we just I'm sorry, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to utilize this land, and going on an angle might make more sense, only because it gets a circle, so going straight down is really not an option. But if we can go straight down to where the road is, that would work. So maybe it's to here, because that gets us to where the road is. So a straight line like this might be all right. It's not really a straight line. I need to like click where all these extra nodes are. Wherever the extra node is, I need to click it and get it out of here. I think that is, yeah, that'll move the whole thing, right? Yeah, so this is a straight line all the way to the edge of the circle here. All right. So we're fully utilizing this area, right? Producing more grain. I can dig it. I like it. All right. The next bit then, once we unlock this tile, which I really think that is the spare tile to unlock, right? Just to get it out of our way. I think I'm gonna do it. Obviously, we don't own this one, but this gets it out of the way so I can use this area. I think I'm just gonna do that. We'll just do it so we can own this area. Move this up even further, like that. And then we'll move this out, and we'll just get that all the way out, like so. And then actually it should be, no, it's at the edge of the circle. That's all you can do. Yeah, it's fine. All right, that'll be the grain field now. All right, so on this side, last little step here. It says we still have a deficit, but we still have a vegetable deficit more, and I'm gonna get the vegetable deficit instead. So for the vegetable farms, we're going to go out about this far. Right about, I think maybe about here would be better. I want to be able to get all of it. I mean, obviously I'm overlapping a little bit here, but I'm trying not to, but I need to get in there. So how about we go about like that? About like that, right? And then this will come out. We'll go this way. Go out this way. All the way to the water. Cover all the way to this side. Right to the fence. Right to the fence line. Can't connect to that fence. Doesn't look like it's gonna... It snaps to it, but it doesn't let me actually do that. So we need to turn all snapping off for a second so I can get it there. Now turn the snapping back on. Yeah, and all the way along this fence line to here. Yep, like that. And then to there. Yep, and then all the way over. Where's the road connection? Road is right there. Okay. So we're gonna go to about here. Should be about there. It's snapping to the road, but then it tells me it can't. I'll move it later. It's fine. Bring it up to about here. And then it completes that. Now let's get the road connected. And we'll just have the road start here. It's fine. And then comes down from here to here. All right. And then now we need to adjust this a little bit. So we'll make the adjustment to get it to hug the road. So get it right to there. Hug the road. And then same thing. Go ahead and hug the road like that. Good. And then this side needs to come down like that. And we can come over a little bit on this side too, I think. You just have to move it a little bit so that it pivots on that point. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll take this point here, bring it all the way over. Like, it's not really adding anything. We'll go. Let's do it from here. That way we can save room to zone this if we need to. It's not really getting us anything to move any closer to that, so we'll just stay here. And then on this side, I don't think I can go any much further. I can go about there, I guess. Yep, and then go out a little bit more like that. And then on this side, we are at our very limit. All right. So there's our farming area. Yeah. Oh, is that not letting me do this? Hang on. Is this not getting power? It's getting power. It's getting water. It's taking sewage. Isn't it? Is it not taking sewage? It says it doesn't have sewage capacity. If I had to guess, I'd say... yeah. It's probably a budget thing. Well, my budget's really green now, so I can afford to bring that service up. So let's bring water back up to 100% of what's necessary. So there we go. And then I also would like to get another sewage outflow at some point. I think our current sewage outflow is here. As you can see, the red in this area here. If I can get additional tiles, I'd like to move that to where we want to move that as far this way as possible, right? I think also grabbing water from another source would be a good idea, and I think I want to grab it from here. So if I grab the water from this, because this is downriver from this, but this is flowing that direction, so it's not a big deal. So I'm thinking if I want to add additional water to my system, I would need to do it somewhere like over here. And it does not look like... oh, right. I don't own that land yet. Yeah. So if I get this tile, then I can do that. I might even be able to tap into this tiny little bit right there. Just outside the city limits. No big deal. There's also places on land where you can grab things like the pumping station. And you can just literally pump the water from there too. So that adds extra water to your system as well. But I think there's a flow limit to the lines, aren't there? There doesn't seem to be. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Yeah, I might be wrong on that. Yeah. Also, I suppose delivers fresh water to the city via the water pipes. Costly to maintain when compared to its output capacity, but can be placed anywhere. Right. I'm not really... I mean, water towers look cool, I guess, in certain capacities, and maybe there's a point to having one like over here or something, but I don't know if it's really that big of a deal. I could put one right here, just like these farms would want to have a water tower nearby, right? It's kind of like something you'd look at and go, you know, considering it's... but here's the thing, though. It's a $30,000 a month upkeep for that. That's a very expensive thing that I just don't need, you know? I'm going to get rid of it. It's just too expensive. I don't care. And we'll just look to get... apparently that counts as an output. Yeah, that's adding water, which is weird because a water tower should not add water to your base output, right? It should be storing water to supplement your water system when it's insufficient. But I suppose that's not really modeled in this game. It's not like Workers and Resources where you're, you know, you might end up with a water deficit and then you start bleeding into it. That doesn't really happen in this game. You just simply give it more budget and you're pumping water again. So, yeah, I think the groundwater pumping station is still the better call in that. And if we can put this like right within the wind turbines, I think that would be cool. Yeah, it looks like I can put it right here. That's kind of nifty. I have no idea whether or not I can actually build a road in here, though. I guess we'll find out. Put a water pumping station right here. It says groundwater reservoir usage 91%. This seems pretty good. Put as close to this as we can. Like that. Like within all the turbines, right? And then does that connect? Yeah, I can just bring that out as a road and connect it up over here. Like that. And that connects additional water capacity to the entire city. It doesn't do anything with additional sewer, but it connects that. Maybe the capacity is limited here. Is there a capacity limit on this system? Maybe this is the limiter. Sewage outlet. Okay, so treatment is 100,000 cubic meters per month. Got it. That's what it is. All right, so our current sewage production is 98,000, 99,000 per month. We're going to need additional treatment, right? And we can upgrade this. And it looks like increases water flow and reduces the amount of sewage being expelled. So purification rate is 10%. I don't know if that actually helps us to add additional capacity, right? I'm not sure how that works. Tell you what, we'll go ahead and do the extra settling tank anyway. Oh, it has to attach. Well, that's peculiar. All right, give me a second. Well, this is outside my borders anyway, isn't it? No, this is in my borders. So I just need to adjust this land a little bit. Wrong way. Can we bring this up? You're not going to do that, are you? All right, hang on. Let's try this. Try this different way. Bring this up. And you know what? We probably should make it stronger, I guess. There we go. A little too strong. But the point is, I want this land over here to actually exist. There we go. Now put this here. All right. Very good. That's what I'm looking for there. Now, does that increase? Let's fix the way this looks, though. I don't really like the way this looks anymore. That's okay. Yeah, that'll work for me. Just smooth that out a little bit. There we go. That is acceptable. But your sewage treatment, right, is still 100,000 per month. So we just need another outlet in order for that to be increased. So the only thing I'd be able to do now, I guess, is to go into water and sewage and just increase the budget. And then my service efficiency goes up based on the percentage of overage. So now I'm at 104% on the budget. And then if I look at like my sewage system now, I now have a capacity of 104,000 and I'm still over capacity. I still need another one of these. I can't avoid getting another one of these. So we're going to have to do that. So let's get, again, we want to just make this like a smaller brush here. We want you to be level with this. Yep. And then just come this way with it. There we go. Just like that. That looks nice and natural, right? I have our natural cliffs and rocks. Maybe not the rocks. Maybe the rock can go. There we go. And so we're going to need another sewage outflow. So let's put this right here. Ought to be acceptable, I guess. Like, give it a little bit of distance here. We'll go like that, right? And then this one we'll get an extra tank on that one, plus the upgrade. Why not? Let's just overspend on sewage stuff for now. That hooks it up to the rest of the grid. And now when we go into our sewage budget, we should see, there it is. Okay. I was like, what the hell? No, it should double now. And therefore it actually has doubled now. All right, now we can lower our budget over here on water and we can keep an eye on it. So we can bring this down to about, let's say 86%. And let's see what that does to our water output. Like ideally, the most efficient is to kind of keep it in this green area here. If you're in the dark green area, you're kind of being inefficient, right? You're overspending, but it gives you that cushion where you can keep expanding and not have to necessarily worry about your budget. We'll go down to 80% there. It's fine. So this should now shift maybe about here. Okay, that's fine. And I have room for expansion now, but we have a lot more water and sewage capacity in the city now. Should keep people healthy, I hope. If I take a look at healthcare, we're firmly in the green here on healthcare availability too, so we can reduce the budget on healthcare as well. Bring it down to about 64%. Should be decent. You can see there's a building on fire here. Unsure where the fire department is in responding to this. This is our crematorium. Okay, the crematorium is on fire. I don't think it would be a huge loss if the crematorium burned down. I mean, after all, the entire product line in there the entire point in here is to burn things, right? So if the whole building burns down, I suppose they didn't technically lose any jobs. They just lost the building. All right, so we have, of course, a huge office demand now. Finally, an office demand. And office demand, we're going to use this as sort of a sound barrier area. So if I can go over to noise pollution. So this is a pretty noisy area, right? And I got to believe that we're going to start getting noise over here too, because these buildings are noisy. So one thing I could maybe do is get offices to, if I put offices right here, I think that would like separate all the noise and maybe dampen it down a bit in this particular area. For over here, like we obviously have really high noise pollution in this area, so these people aren't going to enjoy living here. But in general, if you have like a really noisy highway like this right here, and then you have these homes, if there was any noise pollution here, I could put a line of offices right here, and that would sort of serve as like a barrier to the noise, because commercial areas are very noisy like that, right? So another thing we could do, maybe over here we could put some small office spaces in, just to let like this little area have offices. So we could put some offices off of the main road. We could say like maybe here, right? And then just make sure that these buildings will, I guess I wanted them to be on this road, right? So we can just kind of give a little bit of a barrier to the noise coming from the commercial sector. And so we could do the same thing right here. Put a little barrier here for some office spaces, just not much, but a little bit. And that will just kind of give us a little bit of a barrier for the noise that's caused by this stuff, right? And then over here, same thing. This is gonna be very noisy. Well, at least I thought it would be, but turns out the noise is really coming from the building itself, not the land. So only the buildings are the noisy parts. Interesting. Okay. I figured the entire land would be noisy. So we're gonna put a road. All right, let's upgrade you like that. It's a little bit twisted, isn't it? I'm not sure I like how that looks. I kind of want to change that, to be honest. These houses are gonna go. I don't want that to be like that. I didn't really want to delete that much road. That was a little bit of a mistake, but maybe it'll be all right. These houses are no big deal anyway. Sorry, guys. In the name of progress. That's all it is. Let's bring this up like that, just to kind of make it all nice and that doesn't flow. I really don't like how that looks. Nope, we're gonna get rid of that too. Yeah, let that level out, and then I think we'll actually go ahead and do that. We'll let that level out. Yeah, we need to slope that actually. So let's go about, let's say, to here, right from here. I need a gentler slope here. There we go. Much more acceptable there. Give me more slopes on that side. There we go. So just get this to be, it's still going to be uphill, but it kind of happens after the houses, which gives me, a bit more well-roundedness in how this is going to be laid in. There we go. Much smoother. And so now I can go in my 4-lane road just between these two things like this. And then as I transition it to a 2-lane road from here, leave a little bit more space for that to happen. It's going to go uphill, and then as it goes uphill, it changes to... No. Not one lane or the other. Which one is it here? This one of these zones. Grid lines, sides of buildings, existing geometry. Can you just take it from the center, please? All I want is for you to take it from the center. That's not really the center, but I don't care. Not the center, but whatever. All right, so you are going to go out now. And we want you to curve. So we're going to go out and just kind of curve a little bit like that. Nope. Curve. I mean, just a gentle curve is all we're looking for here. There. It just has to have some style to it, right? But it not as janky as it was. And then this road can connect here. That's all right with me. And then to get in the way of some of this noise, we can have a little bit of the office spaces kind of occupy these areas. Just to kind of get in the way of the noise. And they don't have to be very big offices, of course. I kind of want them to be small, which is why I was kind of regulating the size of the zoning. If I don't make them really big zones, then they have to be small buildings. And that's kind of where I was hoping for here. Small offices. Right here, like this. And that'll just get in the way of the noise from this area. All right, all of these are abandoned because of the new zoning. So we'll get rid of these two. We're going to need to replace the low density housing that these guys require. Did we get the zone in this too or no? We want it over here as well. So just a little bit of office spaces along this side to separate the commercial area from the residential area, like this, and then maybe a little bit there. A little natural barrier, right? I think it'll still look great. Once they actually zone in on there, it'll look pretty great, in my opinion. I had one too many houses deleted there, but I think it'll be all right. So we're gonna get some offices built now to meet that office demand. So we'll watch that happen. In the meantime, since our budget is really good, let's add some parks. Yeah, we unlocked a new park last time, so I'm thinking this large playground seems like a not that large really, so it should be okay to add. It's really not that unreasonably sized. Put a little playground maybe back here, and then maybe we put another one, you know, over by the residential area here would be a good idea. We could put one at the end of this. Yeah, how about at the end of this road? There we go. And then just need to extend the road a little bit, so we make this an alley. Maybe we could make it a full road. Does that actually fit? It would demolish that house, and I want to do that. So just extend the alley out about there, I guess. Little playground at the end of the road kind of thing. We could have this influence over here too, I guess, if we connected the alley. But I would want some street parking there too. So I think at this point we can maybe at this point the road will separate out and then become, you know, something that allowed street parking to exist from here. I'm all right with that. You can see I've made a grass divider on Cherry Street, and it goes all the way out this way, and the grass divider flows all the way out this far. To make this grass divider, in case you're looking to do it yourself, you just take your road services here, and you can go grass, and then it'll allow you to do left side, right side, or center. And if you adjust it to where it's in the center, you're going to get it to where no one can park on the street, right? And then having no street parking is potentially an issue. We have a lot of these low residential houses now that are living directly off of this big heavy street, and I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and get these out of here and rezone this to be for, I think the row housing would be a good fit for here. Yeah, it's a pretty wide area, but I think having a little gap here between the zones is probably an okay thing. So why don't we unzone this or dezone it, and we can have like maybe 4 tile wide row housing put in instead. So these are kind of like the little condos and stuff instead. Creates a little separation in the neighborhood that way, which is pretty good. And it might give me a spot to put a radio tower if I need to put another radio tower in here, which I shouldn't need to, but if I needed to, then I could. Yeah. Server farms are possible, I suppose. Rows and banks of raw computing power provide immense resources to handle network traffic. Can be upgraded to fiber optic cables. Oh, actually, these ones are upgradable. Let's see what that is. So we can do bandwidth increases. I'm not entirely sure what our current bandwidth is. Are we overdoing it on bandwidth already? I don't know. There's got to be an overlay for that, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. Telecom right here. I mean, I get that we're not connected over here. I understand that, but looks like there's just like natural zones where they're green over here, which is surprising. It's weird. Network quality. Is there something special about that area? Maybe. Oh, it's just outside our zone. Okay, so like other people. Maybe there's like other cities over here, and that's where their towers are. That kind of thing. I don't know. But that's what the telecom coverage is. It's not showing me. Mail service availability is looking a little bit weak too, right? We probably should look at upgrading our post office potentially too, and we can upgrade it with an extended storage for more mail, and we can do that on this side, and then we could also get more space for more vans, which could also be on one of these sides. So it looks like this won't fit on this side, but it will fit on this side, so we'll do that for more vans, and you can see how it looks terrible. And I probably should have raised the terrain before I did that. And the problem with this game still is that you cannot, you have to relocate the whole building to make that happen, or just destroy it, right? And so I would have to do this, which is a waste of money, but I'd have to do this in order to reposition that, which is not great. But I am going to flatten this out so it looks a little bit better on this side. And it should be level with the street. I would think it'd probably be the best way to go about this, to make this just a little bit more favorable for me there. And then let's smooth that out. So we should be able to place this a little bit more reasonably now. Go back over to the post office. And then we want to leave enough room. Overlapping. That's weird. It'll let me do that. But then I have to, of course, flatten it out stuff again at a different place, which I didn't want to do, but it's fine. We'll just have it be level with this building all the way out like this. Let's make sure we can actually add those buildings back. So obviously there's a significant terrain height difference between this and this, which I would think would be terrifying for these people, but it is what it is. And then real quick, I need to make this even higher. Still not the right elevation. All right, because I want this to look good. And then we'll go in and correct it again. So this is our post vans. That looks a lot better than it did. And then we can do the extended space to store more mail. That can be on this side. All right. Much bigger post office now. We can handle more mail, and we have more vans to send out and to do the thing with the mail. All right. Should be able to handle a lot more. It costs us more, but we have 30 vehicles in service now. 27 vehicles in maintenance. Oh goodness. Is it because it's brand new? It's probably because the capacity is brand new. I want to see the mail trucks like leave the building. There they go. Off they go. Yeah. Go out and do mail things. This is very busy. Look at this thing. We're going to have to make this roundabout bigger, aren't we? It's, I mean, it's the main on-ramp and off-ramp for the highway. So I think we're going to have to add more lanes here and make this highway a little bit more bigger. We have one lane that goes to the right and then one that goes either to the right or to the left. And this side here, I don't know, they kind of handled it, didn't they? Yeah, sometimes they queue up, but it doesn't get overloaded. I think it might just be appropriate. I think it might be perfect. This looks absolutely disgusting. We should do something about this, right? This looks horrible. If I do that, invalid shape. What? No, I want to destroy the road. Oh, I can't destroy the road. I can do that. I'll do it once I unlock this tile. Probably just shouldn't do it before I unlock the tile. What else can we do for parks? Can we get like the basketball court, a skate park? Yeah, the skate park like maybe over right here. People would like skate park. Maybe over somewhere in this area. Maybe this house can go and we can put something here. I think the basketball court area can be Does it fit right in the middle of this? If I turn the snapping off, does it fit right here? No, it's not gonna quite get in. It could go in here though, right? Yeah, but it's not level. You gotta if you're gonna have a basketball court, you gotta have it be level. All right, it's gonna have to be somewhere else then. We'll put it maybe put it right here. That looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine. The only thing about this is that I may want to upgrade this road later. It will let me. Excellent. So we'll just do that instead. And then that will be an invalid shape for that one, so that'll be okay. But now I can add additional medium density right next to the basketball court, right? We can do it like right here. And we can go about, like, say, there with it. House is built instantly. Very nice. All right. In the downtown area, this is where our big, like, lots of buildings are going to be down here, right? That's what I was talking about earlier. This is where I want to have kind of all of the really tall skyscraper sorts of things, right? And the interesting thing about this idea, I think, is that there's a big hill here, a huge change in elevation, which I think looks really cool. But you're not really going to notice because there's going to be so many tall buildings around this structure that you'll just never... It'll just say whatever, you know, like there's buildings and then you won't even really notice. You'll see what I mean. I don't think you're going to notice the giant height difference here. So what I was hoping to do here is if I can come down and just sort of flatten this out and make it kind of with this road, because we're going to have skyscrapers like right here, right? So this ends up kind of not being such a hill anymore as much as it is a cliff. And then this whole road gets upgraded. All of these low density things go away, right? You can just keep making this as level as possible, and at least out about this far. All right, and then as we're just making it level with the street is what I'm hoping to do. So as the street moves up and down, right, the terrain is still moving up and down with the street, or the terrain is still moving up and down, the same as the street, I guess is what I'm meaning to say. So the whole place isn't level, it's just level with the street. You get it. You get it. I don't need to say it again. I've been recording a while now and I'm tired. I'm very tired. All right. But I'm having a lot of fun. And that's the thing about being tired and having fun, is that you continue to play. You just don't necessarily continue to play well. All right. So I'm thinking this is probably fine for now. I can't really tell what level there. It's not. Oh, it's because this is a park. All right. I was like, why isn't this moving? No, this needs to be shifted over. I think I want you here, actually. To be honest, I don't think I want you here at all. I want to move you. I want you somewhere else. I want you to be, I don't know, somewhere else. That's all I can tell you. I want somewhere else. How about right here? How about we put you, let's not snap you. I'll shove you in like right over here. I want you right along the road. Turn the snapping off and just see if we can't position you like this. And probably a little bit more distance just because we're going to upgrade that road too. So about here with it instead. Right, like, come on. Give me it. Right. Close. There. Close enough for me. And the road connection's on this side. So if I can upgrade this road, then that's a successful placement. And I will not be able to. So we're going to have to scoot that over just a little bit more. So right about there. Let's try that. Can I upgrade you now? I can. All right. We'll upgrade that. And then this little road will just end up being... No? Yeah, like that. Yep, like that. It's okay with me. And then they'll just rebuild. But the park's over there now, which can give me more ability to just kind of flatten this out how I want. All right. So So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just kind of get this to be around where I need it to be for buildings to be built here. And we're gonna get some major like higher density stuff going in for this downtown area, right? But the video has lasted a while now. We have another giant building being built right there. Oh, get ready for it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day today. We have a positive balance. Everybody's happy, right? And then we have just the icons that are bugs. That's it. That's all we have are the buggy icons. But all these businesses that don't have customers, I mean, we're performing really well. 104%, right? The electricity fee and the water fee and the mail handling, I guess, is the only thing that they're bugging out about. I'm not entirely sure why they're bugging out about mail handling. I could put another mailbox over here if it makes them happy, right? I'm not sure how the mail handling works as far as an efficiency thing goes, but okay, sure. And then I think the only thing I can really do to help them out with that is I can go over to water and sewer and just change the service fee to be 100% and 100%, right? And then that'll help them even more because then their budget will no longer include negatives for their power and water bill. And that's fine, right? So now they're going to start leveling up. Yep, they're starting to invest in themselves. It's good. It's very good. All right. Big Town is almost complete. We'll get to Great Town in the next video. And that's where we start getting higher density commercial businesses. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm preparing this for. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.